Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Monday. This is the big day. Severe weather threat is upon us. You wouldn't know it if you look out at that sky cam, though. 61 degrees. The dew point, remember, yesterday was in the 30s. We're up into the 50s now, and the real juicy stuff has not even gotten here yet. So, lots to talk about. Let's just dive right into things here. I've got your usual forecast for you, but I also have, of course, mixed in a lot of severe weather stuff. I've got computer screens going on all over here just to make sure I'm not missing any of the updates and everything, kind of setting things up for today so Tom and I can go ahead and take you through this first severe event we've seen since, I believe it was September 8th. We just had our last one that it was a totally different brand of severe weather as we were, 105 degrees and had big damaging windstorms coming through the area. Looking at temperatures right now, and see my wife texting me. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't doing something stupid or had the microphone turned off, something like that. Temperatures from 60 to 68 across the area. Notice there is a definite lean toward the warmer stuff down to the southwest. That's where that warmth and moisture is coming in. And speaking of moisture, this is very easy to see in the dew point track here, or the dew point map. 50 degrees up in Monroe, 65 in Lake Charles. That surge of moisture is coming in. That surge of moisture combines with the warmth. We get instability. We have a strong storm system. We have all the ingredients coming together for severe potential in the area. And there really haven't been big changes in this. You can see just that classic potent looking system off to our north. We are in that southerly flow out ahead of this that pulls all the ingredients together. And in this case, with that low tracking from around Texarkana up to Evansville, Indiana, that's an ideal track for us to see severe storms here in our area. And it looks like we're going to see that starting here as soon as a few hours from now. In fact, we already have a mesoscale discussion out in northeast Texas for some hail producing storms. That's a discussion the Storm Prediction Center puts out, and we're seeing those storms across East Texas trying to fire up bigger stuff. You can see the lightning up there in Arkansas and eastern Oklahoma. Nothing severe right now, but again, we could see that in the next couple hours as these storms start to ignite out ahead of that main system. But for us close to home here, we're just not seeing a ton right now. Storms trying to get cranked up out there in East Texas, but so far they are not making it. Unfortunately, that will not be the trend later on today. I think within the next couple hours, those storms really start to take hold. We could see a few into the area by noon. I think especially afternoon and into the evening, that's when our best chance for severe weather is going to be. And this is going to be one of those deals where you might see one storm and you're going to see another one behind it. So we could see training of supercells, which is just not what you want to see. And I'm going to show you this here on the future radar and all that stuff. But first off, your severe outlook for today. We are now in an enhanced level 3 of 5 risk for severe weather. That is potentially going to be elevated later today as we get this morning run of models in, and we're getting them right now, and they're not looking encouraging. I will say that. They're looking encouraging if you're looking for that upgrade in the outlook. This means we have the potential for some pretty widespread severe weather in the area, especially across the northern 3/4 of the area, but most of us are in this threat zone. Even if you're down further south, you're in that yellow region, I would go ahead and have that plan in place should you find yourself under a warning, and any of us could see that later today. The most minimal threat we have is going to be large damaging hail. I still think it is a potential thing we're going to have to deal with because, as I said, all modes of severe, 15% risk within 25 miles of a point. But when we get into the other things like damaging wind and tornadoes, that's what we're really kind of locked in on for today. And as these storms move through, they're going to be cellular, supercellular. So it's not going to be like that big sweeping line coming through the area, at least not early on. That's going to happen just to our northeast. I think everything's going to kind of start to congeal together, and that's why that wind threat is going to be higher from areas like DeVille, through Gina, Faraday, Natchez, even into Avoyelles Parish. You are going to see a slightly higher wind threat, but we're all going to see that threat for tornadoes, which is at 10% within 25 miles of a point. Now, think of that. Okay, so that means within 25 miles of where you are, if you're in that yellow area, there is a 10% chance, a 1 in 10 chance of a tornado happening. So that doesn't mean it's going to happen at your house. You want to have your plan in place should things start to kind of go sideways, but you see a warning issued, you want to know what you're going to do. But chances are that even on the busiest severe weather day, you're not going to be impacted. Now, That's the optimist in me. The pessimist is saying that with the ingredients we have today, we have a strong tornado risk. This is a product put out by the Storm Prediction Center. This shows that 10% risk also means we have the 10% chance of a F2 to F5. Well, I'm not even going to say that. EF2 or stronger. Let's just say that. Tornado in the area for today, especially again north of that DeRidder to Oakdaleville Platte, northern St. Landry Parish line. That's where your best chance is going to be to see the stronger tornadoes. If we see them. This is not a slam dunk. People ask me all the time, like, is there a way we can dodge this? Is there a way we can miss out on this? Of course. There have been setups before that I just could swear they're going to produce, and they don't. I mean, sometimes we do see things like too many storms firing. Imagine that. They start to kind of cannibalize the air mass, and they rob the storm to the west, perhaps, of that instability that it needs, or it disrupts the wind flow. There are tons of things that can go wrong in meteorology, or in this case, go right, and hopefully keep that strong tornado risk away from us. So let's go through your future temperatures here. It's going to warm up quickly today. I think we approach 80 degrees. That's going to allow us to maximize instability, and these storms are going to be coming through right during that maximum heating of the day. That's when we're going to see our best chance for severe weather from about 2 o'clock this afternoon until probably 8 or 9 o'clock this evening. We've kind of narrowed that down. Temperatures are going to then quickly cool off as the cold front moves through. By 11 o'clock tonight, we are in the clear here. Thunderstorms moved out of the area. Cooler air returns, and I don't think we're going to see 70 degrees for like 10 days or something. So it's going to stay cool. It's going to stay stable. So after this severe threat, it looks like those severe threats, the severe chances are going to be dropping. Now, this is the thing. This is the simulated radar from the HRRR or the HRRR model. This is a short range. It's a high resolution. This one has been doing pretty well in past weeks. So we can't take this as exact. Like when I show you this, don't say, oh my gosh, I'm right underneath a supercell so that, I've got to go somewhere else, because these aren't perfect locations. But let's just go ahead and put it in motion. And already by noon, we have supercells trying to form on this model across Beauregard and Vernon Parish. So that's by noon. I think, a few hours from now, this is when we're going to start seeing these storms really fire up. You can see more out to the west in Texas, and I'm just going a couple hours at a time. But individual cells, that's what I see here. That's the main draw of this model for me, as I'm seeing those individual supercells. I'm not seeing a real cohesive line of storms. So that means that if we get that right amount of storms, well, in this case, they're going to be able to have that undisturbed environment. We're going to see that severe threat stay pretty high throughout the afternoon and evening until that cold front sweeps through and clears us on out. And yes, I am aware we have a group of about 5,000 kids and adults that are going to be out at the Coliseum today for the YEC. If you are out there, you want to go ahead and have that plan in place. You want to consult with the people who work out at the Coliseum. Say, where do we go if there's a tornado warning? You want to be able to, in a pinch, you're not going to be able to do as much as you would if you plan this out in advance. So you want to go ahead and find out what you're going to do if there is a warning. Now, that doesn't mean there is going to be, but you can see lots of storms in the area. They are going to be that individual type cell, and you can see they have kind of that kidney bean shape. So this model is so high resolution, it's actually resolving these supercells. It's seeing the rotation within the storm, and we are seeing that potential to see several of these storms move across the area today. Now, 4, 5, 6 o'clock, still plenty of that. You see that we started this around noon. 5 o'clock, we're still dealing with it, and then as we get a little further into the evening, things probably start to shove off to the east by 7 or 8 o'clock, but still, a severe threat remains until that cold front comes through, and by 10 o'clock, blissfully so, that cold front comes through, and we clear out. We don't clear the clouds out, but we clear the severe threat out, and we can rest easy after I hopefully miss this forecast and we don't see all these ingredients come together. Because look how quickly this is your CAPE, your instability measurement. We have nothing in the area right now. Look at that. It just appears as that warm and humid, unstable air returns to the area. You can see it just takes a few hours and we're right back into the soup, and we are going to keep that in our area until the front comes through later this evening. So we have that going for us, or going against us. And then we have a lot of wind energy. This is a lot of times, when we're dealing with the potential for strong tornadoes, we're looking at low-level wind shear. We have winds from the southwest just above the surface. They're from the south at the surface, and from the west a aloft, and that's just all the turning you need right there. And we're going to see wind gusts already this morning at about 20-25 miles per hour. But look, as storms develop, we're going to see those winds stay from the south, and then we're going to see gusts 30 to 50 miles per hour, even away from some of the stronger storms, and certainly above 60 miles per hour. We have the potential to see that in these supercell thunderstorms. So a lot of wind with these. Power outages are going to be a thing, I think, as these storms roll through. And then behind it, we get the northwesterly flow to come in, and we are going to cool things off, and we're going to dry things out. It's going to look a lot better in about, 16, 18 hours here. So this is a map that I wanted to tell you is on the website. If you want to track power outages, we have them. I believe it's the numbers, not the percentages over there, but already seeing a couple of power outages, probably just random things that happen here as we have a breezy morning going on. This is something that's in the severe weather section on the website. You want to check that out today. You're going to want to follow along for the YouTube stream. If you're not on Facebook, I'll be streaming concurrently to Facebook and YouTube. We have the website, we have the apps, we have all kinds of stuff to cover you today, so you're going to want to go ahead, get that downloaded, and know where to find us on the website. And yes, we have a 7-day, and I'm going to come back here at the end, but severe weather, that's your main story here. Yes, it does look like we might see a little rain on Thanksgiving. That should be pretty light. Models have kind of been waffling on this, but I don't want you to think that it's going to be completely dry. We do have at least a chance for some scattered light rain on Thanksgiving, and then perhaps a few showers over the weekend. But the big story, of course, is going to be our severe weather. And let me just go ahead, and I'm going to see if I can do this on the fly. Bring up the... there we go. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, your severe outlook. Just as I kind of wrap things up, Tom's going to be over here today. We're going to be tag teaming this thing. We're going to be talking about everything severe in the area. I think by noon we're going to be. I'll probably come back on and do some sort of live update before things really get cranked up. But we're going to have you covered as best we can with what we have here. We probably between about noon and 10 o'clock today, and really I think that 2 to 8 time frame is our main one. That's when our severe weather threat is going to be at its peak. We get another outlook from the Storm Prediction Center around 10:30. Whether or not they upgrade this to a moderate risk, level 4 or 5, doesn't really matter for our purposes, because looking at what I'm seeing, I think we have a significant severe weather threat for today. So if you're going to be out, like I was talking about the YEC stuff, you're going to go out for lunch. I think they had, a friend said at like 11:30 to 2, they have some kind of free time to go out and eat and do those things. You're really going to want to keep an eye on the radar. Make sure you're not driving out into a big severe threat. And of course, we're going to be updating things. If you have location services on the app, you're going to be able to get warned wherever you're located when the watches come out, warnings, whatever. And you can go and kind of toggle warnings and watches off, whatever you want to receive. You can go into the settings and do that so you're not getting oversaturated with those. I just push them all out, and you can decide what you get from there. But I think that's about it for now. We've gone over everything, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to be back on live probably within the next 2-3 hours, and we'll talk about this again as we kind of get some more runs of the models in, just to see what's happening and how things are evolving as these storms do start to develop. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you back here later today.